We are now connected with our very own correspondent from London, Fitria Sungkar. Fitria, what can you tell us? And first and foremost, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Fitria. So how is the public responding to Johnson's resignation now?
People has been waiting for this day for quite some times now. As we remember, the numerous scandal that enroll Boris Johnson has been happening for many months, starting from the Partygate, and then you heard other numerous effect on because of that. But what happened today has been weighted even amongst the Conservative Party voters, because as we remember, what happened today is started after the two most senior member of his cabinet, the Chancellor Rishi Sunak and the Health Minister Sajid Javid, resigned for after calling Boris Johnson's and questioning his integrity after a case of one of the appointment of his parliament or member of the cabinet that was accused of sexual harassment. The thing is, he appointed Alex Pincher as a Conservative deputy chief whip that was already have an accusation of sexual harassment in 2017. And earlier this year in February, he was promoted as the chief or deputy chief whip of the Conservative Party. And Alex Pincher himself has a really important role within the Conservative Party. But 2 months ago, there's another allegation calling Alex Pincher as a sexual abuser. But at that time, Boris Johnson said that he never heard about this accusation before, and in a way trying to defend his role on appointing him as the chief cabinet, the deputy whip, but then retracted his statement only within a couple of weeks, saying that he was sorry, he apologized, and he said that he should have choose somewhere else for the position. So after that, after everything that happens, that is the last resort. After the two most senior member of his cabinet resigned, there's a continuous numbers up to 53 member of cabinet and parliament, and his minister has resigned today. And within just the last couple of hours, we believe that Boris Johnson will resign as the UK Prime Minister.
All right, so Fitria, this is Ahir speaking, talking about the resignation from the ministers. 48 minutes ago, according to The Guardian, Rebecca Powell resigns as Environment Minister. So talking about this, how is the government currently functioning? Since, as you said, at least 53 ministers and officials have also resigned.
That is exactly what has been questioned by other member of parliaments, including the member of parliament from Tory party and a Labour MP. Just minutes before I went live with you guys now, there is a questioning in Chamber of Commons, and a number of member of parliament are questioning the standing minister, asking like, how is the government going to function, knowing that 53 leaders in different branches of the government are now resigned, and there's literally no one that filled that position. But he ensured his fellow member of parliament that the government continue to function. If I can predict, even though there's no position of leadership within that different branches of government, there's still plenty of senior member of civil servant that might not be able to make important decision, as we all know that the UK has currently faced so many problem issue, the rise of living costs, the gas price, and among others. But it's still the same question that needs to be answered, and those positions has to be filled quickly if we want to ease down or trying to find a solution on the mountain and the snowballing problems that the UK public faces now.
Now, Fitria, we know that Boris Johnson plans to continue to serve as Prime Minister until the autumn. But do you think that he really can stay on until the autumn as he hopes? And when will Johnson's resignation be considered official?
That's right. We do believe that Prime Minister Boris Johnson, that now currently still is the Prime Minister, will continue to serve until autumn. This is because there will be, within just a couple of weeks, there will be a summer recess in the UK Parliament, and there are numerous calls that Conservative Party doesn't want to call a general election, and even though there will, if the options they go with is not going to be a general election, that general election would not be able to be in effect until September. There are also calls that that position of Prime Minister needs to be fulfilled immediately because there will be a power vacuum within a couple of months. But at the same time, there's numbers of rules that has to be followed by the member of parliament, that one, if they do want to call a general election, that will not be possible until September. And second of all, if they do want to appoint a new leader of the Tory MP, a Conservative Party, it needs to be there will need to be a vote that might not be able to be achieved, because as we all know, and when it comes to appointing any leadership, there's going to be a lobby, and there's going to be numbers of people that bid for that that leadership position. And as far as I'm concerned, at the time being, people are scrambling to find out what's going to happen within the parliament, who's going to be the next leader of a Conservative Party. And we're still waiting for the official resignation of Boris Johnson that said it will happen today, but it's not until he himself gives a public acknowledgement and speech, most likely going to happen in front of the 10 of Downing Street.
So, Fitria, back to Kai here. I just have one more question, right? This is perhaps assuming too soon. And you just mentioned that it will take time when it comes to appointing a new official prime minister. But a lot of the ex-cabinet members, they do not want Boris Johnson even in the interim as a caretaker. They want somebody else to take over, at least as a caretaker. Now, Liz Truss, who is supposed to be in Indonesia for the foreign ministerial G20 meeting, has cut her trip short and is currently flying back to the UK upon this breaking news. And she is apparently a name that might at least be a caretaker succeeding Boris Johnson. And there has been talks of Dominic Saab, if I'm not mistaken. Which are the names that you think are, expected to replace Johnson, or has a high chance to have the support of the Conservative Party to at least, if necessary, be the caretaker of this position in the interim?
You're absolutely correct. The name of Dominic Raab has been circling around the news cycle even before Boris Johnson said that he's going to resign. But at least there's 9 names that are been circling around that might be considered to be the caretaker within during those recess time. But the 3 names that was really high up on the list, first, that you're correct, is Liz Truss, because there's after what happened, currently what happening between Ukraine and Russia, the really stern position that the UK government has been taking during this war has catapulted Liz Truss' popularity into the highest time now. But we also have two other names. One is Rishi Sunak, that was really popular among even the Tory voters during COVID-19 because he delivered a number of very popular policy that pushes the economy and millions of pound sterling that was given to the public to help ease the burden of the COVID-19 effect. But the thing is, his popularity plummeted after his name was dragged because of the Partygate. And the second highest name that is quite popular is Sajid Javid. That he actually lost his bid of leadership with Boris Johnson in 2019, but then he was appointed as the first ethnic minority chancellor in the UK's government history, but then he resigned and then appointed again as health minister. He's been able to deliver a quite significant policy when it comes to COVID vaccine. He managed to enroll really high number of vaccine deliveries that was seen as quite a successful project under his leadership. But after resigning from his post as health minister, even though still now we're still unsure, we just won't know who's going to take the position of caretaker until that the person is appointed. But the name of Sajid Javid, Liz Truss, and Rishi Sunak was absolutely the three top most powerful or highest name in the bid when it comes to being the next Tory party leadership.
Well, you know, this is certainly something we look forward to hearing from you again, updates, because we know this is not just going to be finished today, and you know, this matter isn't going to be resolved in a day, and we look forward to talking to you again for the latest updates. Fitria, thank you so much all the way from the UK. Please stay safe. We'll talk to you again soon.